got to start realizing when people leave that we can't just let them leave. We've got to know that when somebody walks away that we've got to pull them back. That that's our job. That we can't just stand around and watch someone fall down in the dirt and not help them back up. When we do that, we're not being what our shepherd calls us to do. We're not following our shepherd, because our shepherd would leave us to go find the one that fell, to go find the one that wandered off, the one that is messing up. He would leave us that are doing okay, that are fine, that are making it, that are here on the pews on Sunday morning. He would leave us and say, hey, y'all are good. Y'all hang on to yourselves. I'll be back in a minute, because I've got one that is lost and I've got to find it.
From death to life, I now rise, a new creation in your eyes. No longer I, but Christ in me, the hope of glory. From death to life, I now rise, and I will live to testify. No longer I, but Christ in me, this is my story.
Welcome to Westside Emmanuel Baptist Church, the church that loves God and loves people. We're in the heart of Bogalusa with Bogalusa on our heart. We look forward to you joining us in person sometime soon as we worship the Lord together.
Forgiveness washes over me. My eyes are open, now I see. Your grace alone has made me clean forever. You will command the highest praise. Yours is a name above all names. You stand alone. I stand amazed. Jesus, only Jesus. Jesus, only Jesus. Jesus, only Jesus. I believe in the sun. I believe in the risen one. I believe I've overcome by the power of His blood.
This is for all of us. It's not just for the graduates, but this is for all of us. So the past couple of weeks here in John 10, you probably still have that marked, John chapter 10. We've looked at two different things in this passage of Scripture so far. We've looked at Jesus being the door, that He was the doorkeeper, that He was the one that is there in front of us, that He is the one that holds the sheepfold in, that He is the one that is the person that is protecting us from anything that is coming in. And we've also looked at last week that He is the voice, that He is the voice that we should know. Today, we're going to look at how Him being the door and Him being the voice makes Him the Good Shepherd. And that because He is the Good Shepherd, what does that mean to us? Do we even know who our shepherd is? That's the question. Bottom line this morning, that's the question. That after this song, after everything that we've heard this morning so far in the music, is, at the end of the day, is do you know who your shepherd is? So this morning, if you will, if you haven't turned there already, if you'll turn to John chapter 10, and if you'll stand with me in reading of God's Word this morning, we'll be starting in verse 10. It says, "The thief comes only to steal and to kill and destroy. I came that you may have life and have it abundantly. I am the good shepherd. The good shepherd lays down his life for the sheep. He who is a hired hand and not a shepherd does not own the sheep. Sees a wolf coming and leaves the sheep and flees, and the wolf snatches and scatters them. He flees because he is hired hand and cares nothing for the sheep." But here's what Jesus says in verse 14. He says, "I am the good shepherd. I know my own, and my own know me. Just as my Father knows me, and I know my Father, I lay down my life for the sheep. And I have other sheep that are not of this fold. I must also bring. And they will listen to my voice, so there will be one flock, one shepherd. For this reason the Father loves me, because I lay down my life that I may take it up again." Dear Lord, I just pray this morning, Lord, that you will show us that you are the good shepherd. That you are the only shepherd that we can have in our life. And if we pick anyone else, Lord, that it is just a thief that is coming to steal us away from you. To steal us away from what you have in store for our lives, Lord. Lord, I just pray this morning that it will not be me that speaks, but it will be only you that speaks through me. Lord, I pray all this in your Son's name. Amen. So as I was getting all my stuff ready and praying about it, trying to figure out where I was going to go with all this, I was sitting down last night just thumbing through stuff, and I found a real funny joke that I thought was funny, but I've been told that I can't tell you. So if you want to know a joke, I'll tell you later. It involves a sheep and a dog and an IT consultant. But my wife told me, no, that's just one of the preacher jokes. You can't say that. So we're not giving that joke today. But on a serious note, how many times do you ever feel like there is nothing left in this life? That there is just nothing that you can do, that all you do is just wander around, you just go to work, come home, eat supper, go to bed. Maybe in between you check Facebook or Twitter or Snapchatgram or whatever it may be. Or you may sit down for a few minutes, watch TV or whatever it is. But it's just the same constant thing every day. Now, for a lot of us, that's the way our lives are. You know, things change every once in a while. Maybe on the weekend you go out to the fish house or something. You know, when I was a kid, every Friday night, that's what we did. We went to the fish house to eat, my grandparents. Every Friday night, we were there at 4 o'clock, Doors weren't even open. They didn't even have the grease turned on, but we were sitting there ready to go eat fish. But it's that constant thing that we do all the time. And it's amazing that all throughout the Bible, and I don't know if y'all have ever put this together, but Jesus says that He's the good shepherd, but He also came to be the lamb. So just as we are called sheep so much, He shows us that even the lamb has to follow the Father, but the shepherd is the one that leads. See, we're sheep. And I know in the past couple of weeks we've talked about sheep, but I just want to put this out there. Sheep don't do anything for themselves. They follow. They're always following. They go wherever the other sheep go. Ever seen the movie Babe? No, it's about a pig that becomes a sheepdog because it grows up with dogs. In the movie Babe, the sheep only go wherever the dog tells them to go, or in this case, wherever the pig tells them to go. We're the same way. We've got to have someone telling us where to go. In life, there's always followers and there's leaders. And there's going to be some leaders among us, but at some point, that leader is going to follow someone else. Okay? He followed someone else to get into what position he's in, and they followed someone and followed someone and so on and so on. So you always see that constant that we are following and being led by someone. See, and that's what Jesus is talking about here. In verse 10, He says, "The thief comes to steal and to kill and destroy." What he's talking about there is that the passage before, he's talking about him being the door, is that the thief would come over the side, that there's only one entrance into that sheepfold, and the ones that come in any other way are not there to benefit the sheep, they're there to steal the sheep. They're there to take away. They're not there to gain anything, they're not there to add anything to you, they're there to take away. So when we look at life, you've got to look at two different things, okay? Do I follow the world, which would be the thief, or do I follow the shepherd? And that's what we've got to figure out today, is who are you going to follow? Are you going to follow the world and always be constantly tied down and always be worn out? Or are you going to follow the one that came to protect you, the one that came to be your shepherd? So, as we go through this, we're going to try to get through this pretty quick here. Waylon went over time, just kidding, everybody.
My bad.
But, so, Jesus first starts off talking about the thief that comes to steal and kill. But he says in that same verse, but I have come to give you life and have it abundantly. So the first thing we need to realize is that the shepherd wants us to have life. That he wants to have us not to just have a good life, that he doesn't want us to have just a mediocre life, but he wants us to have life and have it abundantly. He wants us to have more than what we need. He wants us to have so much that it spills over and shares to everyone else. You know, a good shepherd is not going to take his sheep to a pasture that is nothing but sand and rocks. Doesn't really make sense, does it? No. He's not going to take them somewhere where he knows that they're going to be in danger. Going through this, I also learned that a sheep will not drink from moving water. I did not know that. A sheep will not drink from moving water. So he wouldn't take them to a rushing river and expect them to drink anything. He's going to find somewhere that has a cool, nice, calm water so that they're not scared. So that they are relaxed and they follow him and they know this is a safe place. In our lives, that's what we want. I mean, you think about your houses. You don't build a house out of sticks and cardboard and then expect when a tornado or Katrina comes for it to last. I mean, we've all heard the big bad wolf and the three little pigs. You know, we see what happens when you do that. When you make a bad choice in life, your life doesn't become more abundant. It falls down to the ground. Well, Christ doesn't want that. He wants to give us life and give it abundantly. Not even just here, but for eternity. See, a good shepherd cares not just for his flock when it's just all the flock together. He cares for that one that leaves. Jesus talks about a passage of Scripture where he talks about the shepherd that leaves the flock of 100 because one left. That's the protector that we have. That's the good shepherd we have that says, hey, my flock entirely belongs to me. And that if one of them wanders away, that I leave and go find them. He doesn't leave to find it just because he's missing one and he's got to keep his quota up. It's because he knows that if that sheep is not with him, then its life cannot be full and abundant. So he goes out and he finds it. He finds that one lost sheep. We've got to start realizing when people leave that we can't just let them leave. We've got to know that when somebody walks away that we've got to pull them back. That that's our job. That we can't just stand around and watch someone fall down in the dirt and not help them back up. When we do that, we're not being what our shepherd calls us to do. We're not following our shepherd because our shepherd would leave us to go find the one that fell. To go find the one that wandered off, the one that is messing up. He would leave us that are doing okay, that are fine, that are making it, that are here on the pews on Sunday morning. He would leave us and say, hey, y'all are good. Y'all hang on to yourselves. I'll be back in a minute because I've got one that is lost and I've got to find it. And if our shepherd does that, shouldn't we do the same? Yeah. So our good shepherd, he wants us to have life and he wants us to have it abundantly. He wants us to know that there's going to be people that come in and try to tell us lies, and that there's going to be people that try to make things up. And when you get into college, for y'all that are going to college or that may be in college, you're going to see this so much more. You're going to see professors that bash the name of God, and you're going to see people that stand on your campus with signs and say that it's okay to be this way and it's okay to be this way. And all of it is going to go against God's Word. And all they're doing is filling our heads with lies. You know, I always heard that growing up as a kid too, until I actually got in some situations. And I didn't get in it so much as Stevie has gotten in it in some of her classes, where she's actually had professors in school that have told her, I don't care if you've got church on this day, I don't care what you think, you can't write this paper on what you believe, it's got to be out of this book because your Bible's not real. And she's had professors that tell her that. And it's heartbreaking. It just tears you apart when you know, hey, this right here, this is the Word of God, and it's the truth. That the stuff that you're saying is all lies and fake. And my Jesus tells me that you were going to come and that I'm supposed to stand up to you. See, our shepherd tells us and he pre-warns us that there's going to be people that don't care for you, and there's going to be people that come in and try to take away and steal from you. But he says he'll never do it. He cares for us in another way, that he says that I am the good shepherd, I know my own, and my own know me. Just as the Father knows me, I know the Father, and I lay down my life for the sheep. Not only does he say that he wants to give us this abundant life, but he says that for sake of your life, I'll lay mine down. I'll put myself out on the line to save you. For a lot of us, that's something that we've came up our entire lives hearing. We've came up always knowing and being in church and knowing that. But at the same time, it's something that we really need to step back and look at and say, how many people do you know right now that you would call your friend or best friend or husband or wife or kid or whatever you may be looking at next to you? How many of them do you know that would say, hey, I love you enough that I would lay my life down for you? You know, the president has guys that we pay. Every time we get a paycheck, we're paying these guys for them to take a bullet for the president. They don't really choose that. I mean, yeah, they kind of do. But I'm sure when they first started filling out that job application, the first thing on the list was, will you get shot for someone you really don't care about? You know, I seriously doubt that was the first question on the list. And yeah, sure. No, why not? I love getting shot, you know. I mean, how many of us, honestly, do you know would go and take a bullet for somebody? Or whatever it may be. We take the sickness that your child has, or the sickness that your husband or wife has, because you know that they're dying daily, and yet you care so much about them that you would rather you die than them. There's not many of us in here that would do that. We might do it for our wife, we might do it for our husband, we might even do it for our children. But how many would do it for someone that we hate? Or someone that we don't hate, but that hates us? Because I promise, those guys that get paid, if they didn't like who they're protecting, they're not going to jump in front of that bullet. They're just going to say, oh, well, I couldn't get there quick enough. You know, I tripped, my shoes were untied, whatever it may be. There'll be some kind of excuse. And there's some kind of excuse that we're always making too when it comes to jumping out and saving someone else. But Jesus says that I am the good shepherd. That I am the good shepherd. That there's no other shepherd, there's no other person that will do this. That I will do this because I love you. That I will lay down my life for my sheep. But before he says that, here's what I want you to listen to, and here's what I want you to catch out of all this morning, is he says, I know my own, and my own know me. See, that's the big question. That's the big question this morning, is Jesus knows who his sheep are. He knows who he's the shepherd of, but do you know your shepherd? See, that's the question we should ask all of ourselves, is do we really know the shepherd? Because here's the deal with the sheep and the shepherd. And we've kind of been through a little bit of this the past couple of weeks, but just to reinstate all this and just make sure we're familiar and really grasp all this, is the fact is the shepherd doesn't leave his flock. He's with them all the time. He sleeps with them. He eats with them. He takes them to water. He takes baths with them. Whatever it may be, he's always with his sheep. And the sheep that know him are the sheep that know his voice. They're the ones that know exactly who my shepherd is. There was a story a couple of years back. It was in Australia. I mean, we don't really have many sheep herds here. So you can't really use America for a sheep herd analogy. But there was some shepherds in Australia. And this one, he got noticed that one of his sheep were gone. It had been missing for a few days. Well, he sees a sheep with another group of sheep in a different herd. And he tells the other shepherd, he says, "Hey, that's my sheep. I want it back." And the guy says, "No, you can't tell that's a sheep. They're all white. They all have black little hooves and black ears. That's my sheep. It's not your sheep." He says, "No, this is my sheep. Let's go to court about it." So they get in court, and they're sitting there, and they're arguing back and forth. And the judge finally looks and he says, "I don't know whose sheep's who. You don't have a name tag on it. You don't have a little tracking thing under its skin like we get for our dogs and stuff now. I don't know whose sheep it is, so how are we going to figure this out?" He says, "All right, how about this?" Okay? He's saying that, we'll say, "You stole the sheep, Marcus." So, Waylon's accusing Marcus of stealing his sheep. Well, he says, "Marcus, go out in the hallway and call to the sheep." So they bring the little sheep in, the sheep's sitting there in the courtroom. He goes out and he calls for the sheep, and the sheep just sits there and he starts quivering. He gets scared to death. And the judge goes, "Well, okay, well, let's try this other way. You say it's your sheep, you go out there and you call for the sheep." And he goes out there and he does whatever kind of sheep sound call you do, whatever it would be. I don't know if do you whistle for sheep, do you baa at them, or, baa black sheep, come here, whatever you do to call a sheep. I don't really have sheep. But, so Waylon goes out and he calls for the sheep, and the sheep jumps up, ear perk up, and tears out towards the door. And the judge says, "Case settled." That was his, because it knew his voice. The same with us. If we're going to say we have a good shepherd, and we have a good shepherd that is going to mend us and make us and take care of us when we're worn and we're tired, do you even know his voice? Do you even know who that good shepherd is when he's calling you saying, "Hey, I'll fix it. Hey, I'll take care of you. Hey, I've got this. This is the path you should have been on, and you were following this path." Do you even know that shepherd? Do you know him enough that you're right beside him all the time, day and night, no matter what the situation is, you're always with him? Because if you're not, then you're not ever going to know who the shepherd is. The only way to know the shepherd is to be with the shepherd. And to know the good shepherd means that we have to be with him all the time. He's saying, "Hey, I'm doing what I've got to do. I'm giving you a life. I'm going to make it so you have life and you have it abundantly. I'm laying my life on the line for you here. I'm giving you everything I have. What are you going to do? Are you going to follow me? Are you going to follow the thieves? Are you going to follow the ones that make up lies? Are you going to go over here and just follow them around?" But what's amazing is that not only does he say that I'll lay down my life, but he says that I may take it up again. See, that's the difference between our shepherd and any other shepherd, is the fact that even when he laid down his life for us, he got back up again. So that we can follow him through life and through death and through eternity. To know that the life that he has that is more abundant for us is not just here on this earth, but it is for eternity. And the only way to get there is by knowing that he is the good shepherd. See, David put this in real simple terms. He said it in a real easy way that most of us probably already know. But here's what David said. He said, "The Lord is my shepherd, I shall not want. He makes me lie down in green pastures. He leads me beside still waters. He restores my soul. He leads me in paths of righteousness for his name's sake. And even though I walk through the valley of shadow of death, I will not fear. For you are with me, your rod and your staff, they comfort me." See, David knew who his shepherd was. He knew that through everything that he went through the lions and the bears, through the Palestinians, through Goliath, through all the different things that he went through in life, all the fights that he fought, all the things that went wrong, all the mistakes that he made, he knew his shepherd. And he said, "My shepherd leads me He makes me lay down in green pastures. He gives me rest. He puts me beside the still waters. And when He does all these things and I'm in that quiet, comfortable place of knowing who He is, He restores my soul. He leads me on the path of righteousness. And I know that the whole time that all these bad things are going on, and the whole time that I'm worn out and I'm making mistakes, and the whole time that college has got me down and life's got me down because I don't know where my next meal is coming from, or I don't know how I'm going to get through the week on $100 or whatever it may be, He says, hey, my shepherd's with me, and He comforts me. With His rod and His staff, He's there. Because here's the bottom line. As Waylon comes this morning and we close this up, the fact is that we get worn out, we get tired, and sometimes we feel like there's nothing else that we can do. And when we're in that situation, the only thing we can do is look to the one that came down. The one that said, I will be not only your shepherd here on earth, but I'll be your shepherd for eternity. Because not only will I lay my life down for you, but I'll raise mine back up again so that you can have life and have it more abundantly. See, that's what we have to realize this morning, is that we have a shepherd that loves us to the point that He came down for us. That He came down to show us His love, and He came down to let us know that each and every day, that no matter what this life gives us, no matter what happens, that He's always there for us. That He's the one that can restore us. He's the one that can mend us. He's the one that takes the broken sheep and puts it back together. The one that will go out and look for that one lost sheep. Maybe that's you this morning. Maybe you're the one that's wandered off. And even though you're here in this church house this morning, you feel like you're a million miles away because you don't know who the shepherd is. Or maybe there's something that you've done. Maybe there's somebody in here that you've hurt, you've put down, and you need restoration. He's the only one that can fix it. He's the only one that can bring redemption. He's the only one that can make us have a new song for in the morning. And if we don't start letting our shepherd mend us, if we don't let our shepherd lead us and follow Him wherever it is He goes, no matter what it is, if we don't let Him be the one that makes our path, then all we're doing is wandering around. Just like a bunch of dumb sheep just wandering around having nothing to do. And you know what happens to the sheep that wander around? They starve to death. So this morning, my question is, who are you? Do you know your shepherd? And are you following Him?
Friends, thank you for joining us today at Westside Emmanuel Baptist Church, the church that loves God and loves people. We hope you'll be able to join us this coming Sunday at 10:30 a.m. or 6 o'clock in the evening time. Wednesdays at 6 o'clock for our prayer service, and we also have youth and children's activities as well. We look forward to seeing you. Hope to meet you in person here in Bogalusa with Bogalusa on our heart. We hope to see you soon.